We are going to make a song. It is about time. So when you start up Pro Tools and get to the dashboard, we're going to call this YDB dash your last name. I love those spaces in between the dashes. Make sure that it is going to your desktop. Hit create. Okay. I am going to cancel. Pretend this doesn't exist here. What I want to show you first is to create a click track. Okay, so track, click track. And what you get is a very boring metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Notice that beat 1 of every measure is accented. It's a bit higher. And this is really just a good habit to kind of know exactly what your tempo is before you get going. We are going to change our tempo to 68.5. So you can just put in 0.5 and then make sure to hit enter. So much slower. Okay, we're going to make a drum track. I am doing this in real time and hopefully going to go as quick as possible. I'm going to insert insert battery. I am going to come up here and type in the, T-H-A. I'm going to get the realist kit. I don't like that kick drum, but I want to use C1. So I'm going to take this. I'm literally going to click and drag on this cell, B1, and drag it up. And they just swap spots. Okay, so I want that kind of flat kick drum. I like that snare drum. Don't like that. So we are using G sharp 1. Okay, so we're used to this at this point, hopefully. C1, D1, G sharp 1. I'm going to go to the MIDI editor, which is also control and the equal sign. Drums 2 is activated. I mentioned this a couple times. People are asking. You have to have the pencil next to the track on which you want to put in your notes. I'm going to use the line tool because I'm going to put in 16ths for a whole measure. Okay. I'm going to put in D1 on 2 and 4. So I have my snare drum. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm kind of operating from memory here. I think that's it. Kick 2, the and of 2, the of 3, that's our drum beat. All right. We're going to put in some chords now. So make a new track, stereo, instrument, keys, chords. I am going to, for fun, or just keep it simple, use expand. I'm going to go to the E piano category, number 14, and choose the Mark II. And we are going to be putting in, okay, so right now you can see the drums. If I click on this, it's drums. I need to move my pencil to activate the keys, and I don't really want to see my drums right now. All right, so these chords are should all probably be I can't decide if it should be in the second or the third octave, but it's F sharp major. And actually I'm just going to bring up the keys track that I already have. And it looks like this, okay? So F sharp 2 in the second octave, A sharp, and C sharp. This is muted. No, something's soloed. No. Oh, what the? Keys. There we go. Muted. So this first chord of F sharp major plays for one measure, 4 quarter notes. So the way that I would do that is take my pencil on the freehand tool, draw this in for a measure on F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. It plays twice. Now I don't want to just draw in 2 measure long notes, or notes that last 2 measures, because I want the piano to hit again on measure 2. Okay. D sharp minor, C sharp major. Okay, so the D sharp minor is made up of D sharp in the second octave, F sharp in the second octave, A sharp in the second octave. All right, so all between 2 and 3. It's kind of a saddish song. So C sharp in the second octave. So the last chord that plays for one measure is C sharp major. C sharp, F, the only white key in any of these chords, and G sharp. Sounds like this. Actually, let's put the drums. This is what we're going to do. Actually, we'll listen to it. Cool. Now, very important, using the grabber tool. I'm going to be using the smart tool, but showing you that you can access all of them by going beneath the equator here. I'm going to highlight this drum beat, and I am going to come up to edit, but I'm not going to do this after this. I'm going to go to duplicate, which is Command D. We definitely want to have Command D memorized. What I want you to be very careful of is if for any reason your clip is long or short, it has to be exactly 1 measure long. That's from beat 1 of measure 1 up to beat 1 of measure 2. The way to make sure that you have that correct is look at the start time of your selection and the end time of your selection. Those 0, 0, 0s are key. All right, so it's highlighted. I'm going to hit Command D, Command D, Command D. Then I'm going to come in to this last one. And I'm going to put a little drum fill on the and the to have a little snare drum fill. But I also, little detail here, I'm going to go into 32nd notes and just add 1 right there. I'm going to go right back to 16ths. Important to remember, to change your grid is the keynote next to the word grid, not nudge, not quantize. So our little drum fill sounds like this. Now we have 4 measures of drums and 4 measures of keys. We haven't really talked about the rule of bass, but bass tends to play, very simple, the root note of your chord. So for our F sharp, for our D sharp, and for our C sharp, it's those 4 notes, 3 notes, but an octave lower. So good and low, so it hits you in your gut. I'm going to get rid of this thing that I was kind of just pretending about. I'm just going to bring it in to show it to you and have it quick. All right, and in this instance, I am using expand. I'm in the synth bass category, and I'm using number 10, the clicky D&B bass. So I am playing F sharp in the first octave for 2 quarter notes, and then on beat 1 of measure 2 for 2 quarter notes, and then on beat 4, you can do this however is easiest for you, it plays for a quarter note and a 16th, so 1 and a 16th, and it starts a 16th early, so it's actually on the 1 E, 3 E and and holds out through beat 4. All right, so that is on the F sharp. Then just on beat 1 of measure 3, it goes down to the D sharp, right on the downbeat, and then it plays C sharp on beat 1 of measure 4 for 2 beats, and then it does that same thing where it comes in on the of measure 3 and plays for an additional quarter note. Okay, and that all together sounds like this. I'm going to get rid of this click track. We don't need to hear that anymore. All right, and that is all we're going to do for now. In 12 minutes, we're going to bounce this out by highlighting at least one thing that is the length of what we have. I'm choosing the bass because it's one long clip. File, bounce mix. I'm going to actually change this slightly to say the parts, because this is just the parts, and we're going to bounce out more of it as we go. Laters.